Good evening, this is Scott Sackett. Thank you for joining me. If you like this video, please leave a review, comment, or subscribe. Tonight I'm going to talk about the Mighty Marvel 2005 calendar. But before I do, I want to talk about some other Marvel calendars. So I get Marvel calendars every year. I love this old style, Bronze Age style, classic house art. One thing I've noticed is, and this is kind of how the layout. They got the cover, and then they got and it's pretty. It's nice looking, but it's not overly. There's not a lot of art on it. And this is the 2002 calendar. And again, I like the art. I love this old covers, that sort of thing. That's 2002. This is the 2003. Again, nice, old art. Little Ant-Man there. Now this is more like the current one. It's not so many covers. I mean, it's got covers, but they're not big. It's got the figures big, but not the covers. So I'll show you. Let me pull down the current one. I got the current one I'm using. So this is, let me go to the front. So this is the 2024. Cool. I love that cover of Thor. But this is kind of what they've mostly been like. Big cover, corner box art. Big cover. Again, not as much art as some of the others. I was a little disappointed with this one. But I mean, it's the calendar. So now I want to talk about the Mighty Marvel 2025 calendar. This is a reissue of the 1975 calendar, and it came in this nice little box. And so the reason why it's a reissue is because the year 75 and 2025, 1975 and 2025 had the same dates. So Marvel, starting in 1975, started doing what they call these Mighty Marvel calendars. And obviously I have current calendars. This one's a little bit different. One thing I noticed, it's got a spiral bound. It very much feels like a calendar from when I was a kid. I'm sure the original had that, whereas the others now are just kind of stapled on the top. So a little bit nicer. And this has, a thing about just talking about next year. Here's the year at a glance, 75. And this is identical to the one from 75. So this is what it looks like. We have this, what appears to be kind of a watercolor, maybe John Romita painting. Part of it's painted, obviously, the faces. But it's not a comic cover. It's an illustration probably done specifically for this. But look at the dates. Every day, Spidey at Carnegie Hall, January 4th, 1972. That's when Stan Lee spoke at Carnegie Hall. Now, again, at this point, that was only 3 years away. But it's every day has some kind of thing. Happy New Year, Steve Ditko, wherever you are. I think that's Steve Ditko's birthday. I'm not sure about that. I need to double check on that, because here is John Romita's birthday at 28, January 20th, the day that Gwen Stacy died. This one. No, it's not Stanley's birthday, but Sal Buscema forgot to send us a picture. I love that stuff. That's the kind of stuff I grew up with. This kind of that irreverent, if you want to call it that way, humor from Marvel, the 70s Marvel. Everybody talks about Stan Lee, and they think of him as like the old man in the movies. The Stan Lee that I grew up with was this Stan Lee that did this kind of stuff, talked like this, The Defenders, again, a painting, Frank Bruner, obviously. Again, more George Washington's birthday is Hulk wearing a Washington wig. Lots of art had to have been done for this originally. It's funny. I thought about this, and I was thinking about I read a deal with John Byrne one time, and he was saying when he did the corner boxes, I think it was for X-Men, he literally happened to be in the office, and he sat down and drew a bunch of heads, and he said he never got paid, didn't even think about getting paid or asking to get paid. You know, so a lot of this, and I'm sure a lot of it was staff artists that were there like hourly. That's cool. Power Man. It's on Luke Cage Hero for Hire. It's X'd out. It's a Power Man. Yeah. So it's all about Power Man. This March is Power Man month. There's the Avengers. But I think this calendar is so cool. Now there's a book coming out, or that is out. Oh, Conan. May is Conan month, apparently. Lots of, like I said, all the little Herb Trimpe's birthday. Barry Windsor Smith. The Fantastic Four. Look at that art. Could be Buscema. I don't think it's Kirby. Could be Buscema. Again, probably done specifically for this. I don't recognize that for anything. But, again, you know, lots of, you know, thing about when the Fantastic Four put their hands on each other and swore to use their powers to help mankind. Really cool stuff. This is the stuff that I loved about comics when I was a kid, and it's all, and this calendar celebrates all that stuff. July, of course, has to be Captain America and the Falcon, man. You know, lots of cool memorabilia, or you know, milestones, I guess, in the Captain America universe as it is. Bunch of villains. How cool is that, man? Anyway, I thought I would share this. There's Asgard, Thor, the Marvel monsters, Frankenstein, Dracula, Wolfman, Man-Thing, Daredevil. I haven't even looked at all this yet. The Hulk with Santa Claus. How cool is that? How cool is that? Anyway, like I said, they started doing the Marvel calendars in 75. Oh, it's got the zodiac signs on there. That is definitely a throwback to the 70s. But they started doing these calendars in 75. They did them through 81, I think it was. There's a book that's out now called the Mighty Marvel Calendar Book. This makes me want to get it, because I don't know if they're going to do this again next year, if the dates line up. And I'm sure they did this to sell that calendar book or to help sell it. But this is so cool. I get a paper calendar every year just because I hate digging out my phone to look for dates. And I just think this is awesome. If you love classic, if you remember the Bronze Age of Marvel and you have classic Marvel stuff, you would probably dig this calendar. Anyway, thank you for joining me. Have a good evening. Again, if you like the video, please comment, review, or subscribe. Have a good evening, and I'll see you next time. Bye. And face front, true believers.